So we meet again, my curious darlings. Tonight, your presence here tells me something. Do you ever sit in complete silence, only to feel as if the air is alive, vibrating with a presence unseen? Yes, silence can be quite deceptive. I bring you a story tonight about that silence, and what lurks just beyond it. It's called The Void Between Breaths. Trust me, by the end, you might rethink the solace of your quiet moments. Shall we begin? Picture a woman, Delilah, living alone in a modern city apartment, a place of hushed beige walls and glass that reflects the pale light of her monotonous routine, a small detail of her life. It's important, darling. Delilah is a meticulous note-taker on her phone's voice memo app. From grocery lists to fleeting midnight thoughts, her life exists in crystalline digital whispers. One night, as humid rain slithered down her windows, Delilah woke abruptly at 3:12 a.m. A muffled sound danced from the corner of her room. She couldn't ignore it. The voice memo app on her nightstand had activated itself and started recording. She pressed play to hear nothing. Just the hiss of silence. Or so she thought. Lingering just beneath the surface of that silence was something else, like a faint breathing. No, it was more fragmented than that. More guttural, if you listened closely. She tapped delete, annoyed. Glitches and apps, they had their quirks. But, glitches, my dears, have their own dark appetites sometimes. Daylight brought no clues. The incident retreated to the backseat of her mind, as many unsettling details in life often do. Days passed without disturbance, but when she checked her voice memo app again one evening, there were 3 new recordings she hadn't made. The first was harmless, yet strange. The faint sound of what you'd recognize as the drip, drip, drip of water. She lived on the 7th floor with no running faucet. Odd, yes, but harmless, until the other 2 recordings revealed themselves. In the second, something brushed close to the microphone. Not words, not sounds one could easily humanize. Raw, abrupt, a dragging sound. Metal, perhaps? She wondered if someone else could be tampering with her phone. Her building's security insisted that was impossible. Her logs showed no unusual activity. Delilah, however, was beginning to tremble in ways she couldn't quite mask. And now, my patient listeners, the third recording? It was worse than silence. By far. It was static, coarse, and unwelcoming. Then came the unmistakable faint sound of her own voice, delayed by a hair's breadth, repeating something she hadn't consciously spoken. A single word. Stay. In Delilah's voice, yes, but forced, warped, and mourning all at once. Now imagine hearing yourself say something you didn't, and the growing paranoia that someone, or something, is repeating your unspoken thoughts aloud, against your will. Delicious, isn't it? In the days that followed, Delilah descended into paranoia. She moved room to room with mounting anxiety. But oh my darlings, the silence? It followed. Her voice memo app began activating as soon as she wasn't looking. Always when she wasn't looking. Doctors? They said it was stress. Tech support? They suggested a system reset. None could explain the ever-growing library of sounds. Scratches, growls like faraway thunder, footsteps heard from a perspective not her own. They were certainly not hers. And yet the most terrifying discovery wasn't an addition. It was a subtraction. A single recording had been partially erased, seemingly by itself. All that remained was heavy breathing, interrupted by a faint laugh. Recognizable laughter. Her own. By now, Delilah confined herself to her bed at night, refusing to move. Phone meticulously turned off, battery removed. She felt possessed, not by a spirit, but by the unrelenting idea that she was being watched from somewhere, beyond something. She kept her breath shallow, as if too deep a gasp might draw unseen attention. But silence, that deceptive lullaby, works against those who crave safety. What she didn't know, you must pay attention here, is that a sound far darker than silence was forming. Waiting. The final break came as all endings do, unexpectedly and cruelly quiet. Just before dawn, the last peaceful moment her soul would ever know, Delilah opened her phone. No app, no clues. Yet when she lifted it to her ear, she heard herself speaking again. Another word, no longer pleading, no longer distant, just one glistening phrase. "Hello, Delilah." Now here's the question, my darlings, and don't look away from me. If silence is truly golden, then what do you imagine this void consumes in its hunger? The response? Everything. It consumes everything. In the days following Delilah's disappearance, no one believed the rumors that floated through her building. The strange absence, the unexplainable malfunctioning of her devices left behind, her blinds permanently pulled tight, even when her windows were unlit. They simply chalked it up to the busyness of city life. But you, oh dear one, you'll remember, won't you? Yes, you'll remember, because silence isn't just empty. It's waiting for you too. That brings us to the end of tonight's unsettling tale, the void between breaths. But before you're tempted by the silence around you, take heed. Some silence cannot be trusted, and some voids, they're far from empty. Until we meet again, rest easy if you can.